Frankly, I'd rather face TL. I think they're a slower team than C9, and so I think that benefits us.
This is Zento from Esports Heaven, and I have here with me the victorious JayJ from FlyQuest. Now, you guys just beat Golden Guardians, and I want to tackle the draft because in the very beginning, you guys kind of had a priority on Varus after they had beat you with Varus. So was that a big concern for you going into the draft against Golden Guardians?
Not at first. I think as the series went on, we realized that it's much more of a priority pick. I don't know if in the general meta it is, but I think versus Golden Guardians it was, because it seemed to be really comfort for them, and I think their picks into it weren't very good. And so we felt pretty comfortable taking it away from them and then having just like a comfortable AD for us that they can't punish.
So even still, I remember the Tom Kench as well too. Now, you guys let Tom Kench slip through in the first game, and they beat you guys pretty handedly. So was Tom Kench a problem specifically for the lane phase, or was it towards mid and late game?
I think more towards the mid and late game. I think we're still, even though we've made it to semifinals now, we lack a lot of coordination and communication at certain parts of the game, and so TK punishes those mistakes really well. And so I think it was just good for us to get it away from them and be able to play into stuff that's easier for us to play into.
Okay, so it seems like for the bot lane specifically, this is a type of, I guess, characteristic of your team to where WildTurtle seems to have more independence to kind of go crazy and go buck wild. So is this something in which you guys are happy with, that you can enable him to do or make these types of plays that are a bit off the wall and a bit aggressive?
I think Turtle's definitely one of the more vocal members on our team, and so I think when he wants to look for those kinds of plays, he usually calls them ahead of time, and then we're able to back him up through it. However, there are times when we're not ready for it and he goes crazy and then it turns out badly. And so I think it's kind of both. Like, when he preps us, it's good, and when he doesn't, it's bad. But I think sometimes he sees plays that we don't, and later we look at and we're like, okay, if we all went in with you, it's good, but none of us were ready for that, and so you shouldn't have done it. And then we'll go, okay, then maybe we can look for that next time, or maybe it's just like too split-second of a decision to make. And it's better not to do that sometimes. Do you find it's difficult for you to play with an AD carry that is so eccentric? I wouldn't say it's difficult. I think it's just like, well, there's one week, like I think week 6 or 7 maybe, where we played versus C9 and TSM. I think for some reason that week he just had a tendency to do it without prepping us, and it turned out really badly every time. But he like toned it back somehow. It just like clicked in his brain that he shouldn't do that, and so I think it's fine. It's like he doesn't do it all the time, and when he does it, it's usually good now. So I think it's fine.
Okay. So as far as narratives are concerned, there seems to be this narrative surrounding FlyQuest of just this team that kind of does their homework, very vanilla, and is able to understand the basics of how to actually play the game, but otherwise you're not going to see something random come from them. What do you think about this narrative that FlyQuest is just this very basic fundamentals team?
I think it's wrong, frankly. I think we still struggle a lot to do things as a team, and like when we do things as a team, we do them poorly a lot of the time. I think just our individual players have kind of carried us a lot of the time, and like I think all of the players on our team are like top 3 or top 4 in their role at least, and so I think that's allowed us to get to where we are. But we still have so much to work on as a team.
Okay, so do you have any thoughts going into semifinals? I imagine this is a pretty exciting time for you guys. So what are your thoughts heading into next week?
Well, we don't know who we're playing yet.
Yeah.
TL gets to choose between us and the winner of TSM and Echo Fox, and so frankly, I'd rather face TL. I think they're a slower team than C9, and so I think that benefits us. But either way, to make it to finals, we have to beat either of them. So I think it's so cliche, but we really just have to buckle down and really grind it out this week. I know this last week of practice was pretty stressful for us, and I think this one's not going to be any easier. So I think we just have to be ready for that.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you for the interview. This has been Azento from Esports Heaven and JayJ from FlyQuest. I assume if you made it this far, you probably enjoyed the content. So if you did, subscribe and also check out my other content that's more analytical and opinionated. But otherwise, keep it locked at esportsheaven.com, and I'll see you next time. Peace.